Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and there is an ancient human standing in your room. They do not scream, they do not attack, they just watch. They watch a tiny machine beside your bed start screaming at you. They watch you slap it. Then they watch you immediately pick up a glowing rectangle and stare into it before you even stand up. The ancient human has been awake for 10 seconds, and they are already concerned, because from their point of view, your day does not begin with sunrise. It begins with a command. A sound tells you to wake up, a screen tells you what happened, a calendar tells you where to be, a clock tells you are already late, and somehow this is normal. So maybe ancient humans were not the weird ones. Maybe we are. Now, of course, we cannot actually know what ancient humans would think. There are no Stone Age reaction videos, and modern hunter-gatherers are not living fossils. They are modern people, not exact copies of the Paleolithic past. But we can ask a safer question. Which parts of modern life would look completely bizarre from a prehistoric human point of view? Because ancient life was hard, very hard. There was hunger, cold, disease, injury, insects, danger, bad weather, and probably one person in every group who made sleeping near the fire worse for everyone. Ancient life was not paradise, but modern life is strange. Now your ancient guest follows you into the morning. They watch you sit down, then you stand up, then you sit down again, then you leave your home and sit inside a moving box. Around you are hundreds of other humans, also sitting inside moving boxes. Nobody is hunting, nobody is gathering, nobody is carrying water, nobody is following tracks. Everyone is just sitting, waiting for the boxes to move. For most of human history, movement was not called exercise. It was just life. You moved to find food, carry water, gather plants, follow animals, build shelter, make tools. Movement was how the day happened. But in the modern world, movement has become optional. So the ancient human watches you arrive at work. You enter another box, you sit in another chair, and then you spend hours pressing tiny symbols on a glowing board. The ancient human whispers, "What are you making?" You say, "Mostly emails." They do not know what that means, and honestly, neither do we. You try to explain. The machine sends invisible signals. The signals move invisible numbers, and those invisible numbers decide whether you're allowed to keep living inside a room. The ancient human stares at you, then at the screen, then back at you. This is the moment they begin considering the forest, because ancient work was not easy. People had to gather plants, hunt animals, make tools, carry water, repair shelters, maintain fires, watch children, read weather, remember routes, process food, and avoid danger. But much of that work had a visible connection to life. Food, fire, water, shelter, tools, children, safety. Modern work is powerful. It builds medicine, cities, clean water systems, music, machines, and videos like this one. But it is also abstract. You can work all day, and at the end, nothing in your hands proves what happened. Just a tired brain, a sore back, and 47 unread messages marked urgent by people who are also confused. The ancient human is now deeply concerned. Then lunch arrives, and this does not help. To an ancient human, a modern supermarket would look like magic, and possibly a trap. Fruit in every season, meat without hunting, salt everywhere, sugar everywhere, food sealed in plastic, cold rooms full of dead animals, bread that survives longer than some friendships, drinks brighter than berries, tiny bags full of orange dust triangles. The ancient human might not say, "This is bad." They might say, "Why is all of this here?" And honestly, fair question. Ancient diets were not perfect. They changed by place, season, climate, tools, and luck. Sometimes there was plenty, sometimes there was hunger, but food was usually connected to something real, a place, a season, a plant, an animal, a skill, a risk, a landscape. Modern food often arrives as a product. You can eat a strawberry in winter, drink something that tastes like fruit but contains almost no fruit, eat meat from an animal you never saw, open a snack made in a factory, sealed in plastic, shipped across the country, stacked under fluorescent lights, and sold by someone who also does not know where it came from. The ancient human would need a moment. To them, our food might not look like abundance. It might look like food that forgot where it came from. Then the workday ends. You are finally free. So what do? You go to a special building to move. The ancient human watches you lift heavy objects that do not need to be moved. They watch you run on a machine that goes nowhere. They watch a tiny wrist computer congratulate you for pretending to travel. And now they are no longer confused. They are worried, because for them, walking had a destination: food, water, shelter, safety, a better place. For us, walking can be something we do indoors because our normal life did not require enough walking. We built a world where movement became optional, then invented exercise to put it back. And here's the weirdest part. Ancient humans might not be confused by our technology. They might be confused by what the technology did to us. Because after a full day of comfort, many modern humans go home exhausted. You did not chase an animal. You did not carry water for miles. You did not sleep in the cold. You did not fight off wolves. You sat under lights, pressed symbols, ate packaged food, moved on purpose, and somehow your body is still tired. That is not because modern humans are weak. It is because modern life asks the body to do something strange, sit still for hours, while the mind runs all day. Now your ancient guest follows you home. You enter a building full of humans, dozens of homes stacked on top of each other, people above you, people below you, people behind every wall, and somehow you know almost none of them. This might be one of the hardest things to explain. For most ancient humans, life probably meant being close to a smaller group of people most of the time. That does not mean everyone got along. Small groups can be supportive. They can also be extremely annoying. If you have ever spent too much time with the same people, congratulations, you have discovered anthropology. But people were usually visible to each other. Children, adults, elders, relatives, partners, friends, rivals, storytellers, hunters, gatherers, healers, difficult personalities. Everyone sharing space, food, work, warmth, danger, gossip, and problems. Modern life can be the opposite. You can live surrounded by people and not know anyone's name. You can pass hundreds of humans in one day and speak to almost none of them. You can sit alone in a room while talking to someone across the planet. You can have hundreds of contacts and still wonder why nobody nearby knows your name. An ancient human might understand enemies. They might understand strangers. They might understand distance. But an apartment building full of people who never speak, that might be hard to explain. Privacy is wonderful. Doors are wonderful. Not being watched by your entire group all the time is wonderful. But modern life created something unusual. Crowds without community, connection without presence, friendship through glass. The ancient human is not judging you. They are just quietly worried. Then night comes, and somehow sleep is not simple either. It is tempting to say ancient humans slept better than us, but that would be too simple. Ancient sleep was not luxury sleep. There were insects, cold nights, smoke, noise, hunger, children waking up, other people nearby, danger nearby, and possibly Greg nearby, still digesting roots. But modern sleep has its own weirdness. You have a soft bed, a locked door, blankets, pillows, heating, quiet walls, no wolves directly outside, usually, and still, you are tired. Because modern sleep is not just sleep, it is a negotiation. You wake up because a tiny machine screams beside your head. You spend the day tired. Then at night, instead of sleeping, you stare into the same glowing rectangle that helped make you tired. The ancient human watches you scroll and scroll and scroll. Then you say, I really need to sleep, and keep scrolling. The ancient human now believes the rectangle is a cursed object. And honestly, they have a point. We made nights brighter, then bought blackout curtains. We made rooms quieter, then played fake rain sounds. We made beds softer, then became too stressed to sleep in them. We built walls to escape weather, then paid to go camping. We made darkness disappear, then missed the stars. We escaped physical labor, then invented gyms. We escaped silence, then invented meditation apps. Modern life solved ancient problems, but sometimes the solution became weird, and that is the point. Did ancient humans think we were weird? They never got the chance. But if one of them followed you through a normal modern day, they might be amazed. They might be impressed by medicine, warmth, clean water, safe childbirth, electric light, cooked food on demand, music from nowhere, the ability to speak to someone across the planet. To them, modern life might look like magic, but also like a very comfortable trap. A world where food is everywhere, but people are anxious about eating. A world where shelter is stronger than ever, but people still feel unsafe. A world where people can talk to thousands, but feel lonely. A world where movement is optional, sleep is scheduled, sunlight is replaced, and time is controlled by tiny glowing machines. So no, ancient humans were not simply better than us, and we are not simply smarter than them. We are the same strange animal, living in very different cages. Ancient life was harder. Modern life is safer, but comfort made us strange. And if an ancient human saw your alarm clock, your office chair, your plastic snack, your treadmill, your unread emails, and your glowing phone at midnight, they might not say, the future is amazing. They might say, why did you do this to yourselves? And then, after a long silence, they would probably ask if the orange dust triangles are edible, because humans are humans, and weird or not, snacks are snacks.